peeps, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sasha K here. For today's look, I'm like, I've never actually done a video showing you guys how to properly blend. Properly. And I say properly because it's my way of properly. A lot of people have their own way of properly, right? Like what's proper to them. For a quick little disclaimer, I am not a pro by any means. I learned from YouTube just like a lot of other chicks. Practice makes perfect. And again, perfect is going to be in your eyes. You know what I mean? What you like, what you're comfortable with. So yeah, this is how I blend my eyeshadow nicely together, in my opinion. So yeah, if you guys want to learn, please stick around and keep watching. Okay, you guys, so first I like to start off by cleaning up under my brows. I like to do that before I do any eyeshadow work, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Finish Concealer. This one's in the shade NW35. Now it is about a shade or two lighter than my skin tone, which is perfect because it will give my brow bones the proper highlight that I want. I'm just using a MAC 212 brush and cleaning up under my brows. So then you want to use your finger to kind of blend the product in. Try not to disturb your brows. Before I continue, I'm going to apply some Mercier Translucent powder under my eyes, and this will catch any form of fallout whatsoever. So I'm going to be applying my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot. This one is painterly, and I like to close the container right after I open it because it tends to dry really quick. So I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. This will allow my eyeshadows to have something to stick onto, and because it's a lighter shade, it will also allow the shadows to look vibrant. And then you just want to use your finger to kind of also buff it out, right? Make everything nice and smooth. Okay, so next I'm going to set it with the Mercier Translucent powder, just a tiny bit of this. Tap it off. I'm just gonna set it a bit. This will allow my eyeshadows to blend a lot easier without like giving any sort of patchy situation. So that's why we're setting everything with this. You can bring it all the way up to the brow bone and try not to disturb the brow. And again, I'm using a tiny bit of this one, just a tiny bit. All right, so now we have a nice clean white base to work with. So any eyeshadow I put on, it's gonna pop. Okay, so for today's look, I'm going to be using all the eyeshadows from Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I'm going to use every shadow from this palette, and we're going for a very matte look today. So first I'm going to start off by using the shade Bay right here. Blow off the excess, and I'm going to highlight the brow bone with that. Now I like to keep my highlighted brow bone really on the outer corners of my brow bone, so this will help to set the concealer that I applied there. And I know it looks like all blended in right now, but trust me, once you start adding more color, you'll be able to see it pop more. Okay, now for my first eyeshadow, we usually use a transition shade. A lot of people tend to stick with a transition shade that is like close to their skin tone, but whatevs, make your own rule, create your own rule. Today I'm going to be applying Henna as my transition shade. Now this is going to be my first shade. So you want to go from the lightest shade to something a little bit darker to the darkest shade. Now you always want to kind of blow off the excess, right? So we're just going to start off by blending this into the crease. And because we use like a lighter base, so this color is like really popping. It's really popping. It's on and popping, y'all. You can use windshield wiper motion, whichever works for you, right? I like to use windshield wiper when it comes to the first shade I apply because of my eye shape. Now if the edge is a little too sharp, just use a brush that doesn't have any product on it and buff it out. So now that we have the eyeshadow blended to our liking, we're going to go in with a slightly darker shade, okay? So that is going to be the Cocoa shade right here from the same palette. So we're just going to apply that right below the shade that we just applied. And you guys, it's like so much easier to start off with less product and then build your way up. But it's harder to apply like more and then try to get rid of it. So as you can see, I'm still sort of in the crease or right below it. And I'm just blending these two colors together, but trying to keep the darker shade lower. You can also go ahead and use your transition shade brush to blend it in even nicer together. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and apply black truffle. So that is this one right here. It's a black eyeshadow. Again, we go from a little bit lighter to darker to darkest, right? So you want to start off by picking up a really light amount of this one, like a tiny bit, okay? So I'm just going to apply this all over my lid right here. Now, because this is a black eyeshadow, I'm trying to get it as close to my lash line as possible, so it's causing fallouts, which is why, you know, luckily we have the powder there. Now, when I'm applying black, I like to apply, apply lower and then kind of buff out as I go above. Because if you apply too high, but then you buff it into the middle shade that you apply, so you want to avoid doing that, right? Okay, so now that we've laid down the black, I'm going to be reapplying the Cocoa right here. So I'm going to use the same MAC 221 brush that I used to apply it. This is only because I don't want to lose the Cocoa shade. So I'm just going to use it to kind of blend in the black shade with the Cocoa. We're going to be getting rid of the harsh edge while still keeping the Cocoa shade. That's what's happening right here, right now. So as you guys can see, it's like there's a transition going on from light to semi-light to darkest, right? So that's what you want. Well, that's what I want, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, this is my blending job. This is how I blend. So for the lower lid, you literally want to do the same thing that you did on the upper lid. Well, Henna is the first shade we apply, so it's the first shade that's going on right now. And as you can see, I'm like bringing henna down a bit. Now I'm just wiping off the brush and reusing it. So next we're gonna apply the shade Cocoa. Cocoa is gonna come a little bit higher than henna. We're just not gonna go all the way down with Cocoa, right? Because you want to be able to see that transition. Okay, next I'm going to be using the Morphe E43 brush. So it looks like that. It's just got a flat kind of top right there. And I'm going to apply the black shade. And this one is going closest to the lash line. And if you want, you can apply like your eyeliner and then apply the black shade. So that way it kind of sets the eyeliner, prevents it from running. So when you're done, it should all look like this. Make sure you're completely done with all the shadows. And then you can go ahead and dust off the excess baking powder. And I like to clean off the brush when I'm done with one side, just to make sure there's no like black shadow on it. And then I go to the next. So far, this is the nice blended situation that we got going on. Okay, so next I'm going to apply some Smashbox gel liner. This is the waterproof gel liner. I like to apply that in the waterline because it really stays there. You put it there, it stays there. Now I'm also going to use this to tightline. That's basically where you apply it onto the upper lid. I'm going to use the same black eyeshadow brush I was using earlier to pull my lid up. We're just doing this because we don't want any skin showing through when we do apply like our falsies. But this is optional. You can totally skip it. You don't have to do this tightline stuff. So for falsies, I'm going to apply some Cocoa lashes in the style Misha. Okay, so the lashes are on. We're going to apply one more shade. It is called Moondust. So that is this one right here. Yeah, so I'm just going to spray my MAC Fix Plus onto my brush. And you guys, sometimes if you feel like your inner tear dot highlight is just doing too much, you know, you can just clean your brush off and kind of blend it in so it looks a little bit more smooth than just like a harsh, you know, dot you put down there. Anyhow guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something, you know. Even if it's one thing that you can take and apply to your, you know, makeup routine, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out so that you never miss an upload, and go ahead and click the little notification, the little bell thingy down below. And all the products that I use will be in the description box below. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you guys in the next video again. Thank you so much for watching. Look at more, my peeps. Look at more. You guys, braces though. Braces though, if they're any more comfortable, I talk funny, I'm always like my mouth always kind of feels dry, my lip always feels dry, it's hard to eat, and it's been like a while now, but it's still hard to chew on anything. Like it feels so uncomfortable to chew. Like a bitch is not enjoying her braces experience, let's just say that, okay? But whatevs. When it's all said and done, these grills gonna be all out and a bitch smile gonna be on fleeky. Wait, what?